It was a quiet Saturday night in Milwaukee, the kind of night where nothing unusual seemed to stir. But inside a small home on North 39th Street, two friends were about to cross a line from ordinary to unthinkable. By the time police arrived, one woman lay lifeless, and the other, bleeding and in shock, whispered a story that left even seasoned officers stunned. Ariel Spillner was only 26, a bright, ambitious pharmacy student with a heart full of plans and a life just beginning to unfold. Friends called her kind, focused, and endlessly compassionate, the kind of person who went out of her way to help others. She was studying to become a pharmacist, hoping to make a difference in people's lives. Those who knew her say she had an easy laugh, a contagious energy, and a love for her family that ran deep. No one could have imagined how that love would soon be shattered. On the evening of November 4th, Ariel went to visit a friend she'd known for about a year, 32-year-old Jamica Mills. It was supposed to be a normal visit. Ariel often stopped by to help Jamica with her dogs, and that night was no different. They spent time talking, laughing, and according to later accounts, smoked marijuana together to relax. But what happened next spiraled far beyond anything either woman could have expected. Sometime after they smoked, Jamica claimed that paranoia set in, an intense, sudden fear that took hold of her mind. She later told investigators that she began feeling watched, unsafe, even though it was just the two of them in the house. Ariel, she said, started acting strangely too, or at least, that's what Jamica believed in her panicked state. When Ariel made a quick movement with her hand, Jamica told police she thought her friend was reaching for a knife. Acting on that fear, she grabbed a handgun from her bedroom and pulled the trigger. The shot echoed through the small home. Ariel collapsed almost instantly. When first responders arrived just after 9:40 p.m., they found Ariel unresponsive, lying on the floor. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Jamica, meanwhile, had a gunshot wound in her abdomen. Whether from the same gun or an attempt to harm herself afterward remains unclear. She was taken to the hospital under police custody. In the hours that followed, detectives tried to piece together the events that led to Ariel's death. There was no history of violence between the two women, no argument, no long-standing feud, just a friendship, and a tragic moment of panic that turned deadly. Jamica told investigators she never meant to kill Ariel, that she was terrified and acted without thinking. But intention could not bring Ariel back. Soon after, prosecutors charged Jamica Mills with first-degree reckless homicide and the use of a dangerous weapon. She was booked into the Milwaukee County Jail, where a judge set her bond at $150,000. Court records show she's awaiting trial, her next hearing scheduled just weeks after the shooting. If convicted, she could face decades in prison. Meanwhile, the people who loved Ariel were left to face the unimaginable. Her family described her death as an unimaginable loss, words that barely begin to capture the pain of losing someone so full of promise. They spoke of her dreams, to graduate, to move to Florida, to start a new chapter helping others. Instead, her family was planning a funeral, not a future. Friends and classmates flooded social media with memories, her laughter, her dedication, her light. Some said the world felt dimmer without her in it. In tragedies like this, it's easy to look for something that makes sense. A reason, a lesson, a moment that explains it all. But sometimes there isn't one. Sometimes it's just the horrifying reality of a decision made in fear, under the haze of paranoia and confusion. One single second that changes everything, one trigger pull that ends a life and destroys another. Ariel Spillner's story is a painful reminder of how fragile everything is, how quickly friendship can turn to tragedy, and how a moment's panic can take away a lifetime of dreams. She will be remembered not for the way she died, but for the way she lived. As a daughter, a student, a friend, and a woman with a bright future who wanted nothing more than to help others, may her story serve as both a warning and a tribute. A warning of how quickly fear can twist reality, and a tribute to a life that deserved so much more. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe